Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you guys how I made this super cute and easy Toy Story cake. So I hope you guys enjoy the video and keep on watching to see how. So to start, I am going to go ahead and prepare my cake layers. This is my top tier, which is an 8-inch white vanilla cake. I baked one layer in a 3-inch tall pan and another layer in a 2-inch tall pan, and I cut the 3-inch tall cake layer in half so I get a total of 3 layers of cake and 2 layers of filling. And for the filling, I'm putting a layer of pre-made strawberry filling and then a nice thick layer of my strawberry whipped filling, which I have a video on how I made coming out soon. I am also adding simple syrup to the cakes as I go, just to moisten them up. And then here I am going to take my white buttercream and do a thin crumb coat layer. Once I was happy with the crumb coat, I went and put it in my fridge so it could crust on the outside, and I'm repeating the process with my chocolate cake, which are 10-inch layers. And again, I did the same thing, baked one in a 2-inch tall pan and one in a 3-inch tall pan, and cut the 3-inch cake in half. Now for filling on this one, I'm doing a thin layer of Rich's chocolate whip topping and then putting in my strawberry whipped filling, and repeating the same exact process I did on the other cake of filling and simple syruping and crumb coating. Once I was finished crumb coating, I put this cake in the fridge for 15 minutes to let it crust on the outside, and now I brought it back out to do a thick layer of white buttercream. This is going to be my final layer, and I put it pretty thick, probably up to a ½ inch thick on this cake because I knew I would come back in with my scraper. This one is from Fat Daddy-O's, and scrape most of the frosting off and get really smooth sides. Now I am going to go ahead and put the supports in, and I am using bubble tea straws or boba straws. I get these at Smart & Final, and I love them. They work super duper well. They're super strong, and I highly recommend them. I've stacked up to 4 tiered cakes, really big heavy cakes, and they worked out so well. So now here I've taken out my top tier, and I'm giving this one a final coat in a very light baby blue buttercream. So once I was happy with the final coat of buttercream, I put this cake in the fridge to let it chill and crust, and got started on the main focal point of the cake, which is the big Toy Story logo made out of fondant. I got this cutter on Etsy and I will link it down below. I'm using True Blue fondant from Fat Daddios. I'm using red fondant from Renshaw, and I'm using for the letters yellow fondant from Renshaw. And you will also need some Tylose powder or CMC powder to help stabilize the fondant. So I'm just working the fondant and adding a little bit of the Tylose powder. Fat Daddios fondant is kind of drier, so it needs to be worked a little bit more before you use it. And here I am using some cornstarch in a bag to roll out the fondant so it could be big enough for the main piece of the logo, the whole outside piece. And I am rolling the pin over it to make sure it cut well. Now I am grabbing some Renshaw fondant, which is my absolutely favorite fondant. It tastes really well and it needs minimal kneading to be ready to go. And I almost never have any kind of little air bubbles in this fondant. It works so well. So I'm cutting the bottom part of the logo out of this. And guys, I really recommend this cutter. Like I said, I got it on Etsy, and it ships out from Sacramento. It's a 3D printed cutter and it works amazing. I will link it down below. I would also suggest checking out this Etsy stores page. They have lots of awesome cutters and they're pretty affordable. So anyways, here I am cutting out the letters for the logo and being careful to not distort it. Now I am going ahead and assembling the logo. I'm just using a little bit of water with a paintbrush and putting that on. These are a set of paintbrushes that I bought for my cake supplies, and I use them only for items that are touching food related products. Now I am going ahead and putting on towel spots onto the bottom cake. My camera ran out of battery. Well, actually my phone ran out of battery, and I didn't get to me filming this, how I cut these spots out, but basically I just rolled out black satin ice fondant and just kind of used my X-Acto knife that I use only for fondant and randomly cut out some shapes and just attached it to the cake with a little bit of water. I'm then using a small little French star tip and going around the edge and trying to make it look like rope. I also there have a piece of wax paper that went underneath the cake, and I put a little bit of buttercream to stick the cakes together. And now I inserted a central dowel to the cake, and here I am applying some clouds. These clouds, I bought the cutters on Amazon and they'll be linked in the description. Again, my phone ran out of battery, so I wasn't able to record, but basically I just took some white Fat Daddios fondant and rolled it out. I didn't add any Tylose powder and cut out my clouds. And that's everything that I did for this night, which was Friday night. And I decided to put on the final touches the next day, the day of delivery, which was Saturday. Okay, so it's now Saturday, and I made this little one last night to go on the top of the cake, and there is my Toy Story logo that I made the night before. And here I am cutting open the package of cake toppers. I really like it. It was pretty affordable and I got it on Amazon, of all these little Toy Story characters, so I will link that down below as well. The only thing I would say is I probably should have put the Toy Story logo on the night before if I wanted it to wrap around the cake, but because I let it get hard, it kind of just stayed flat like that, which was okay, I guess, because it made the logo more like, made it pop out more and stick out more. But all I'm doing is just applying all the little cake toppers onto the cake with a little bit of buttercream. I'm focusing them all towards the front because I'm a big believer in cakes having a front, so the part that faces out towards everybody should get the most love. And here is how everything looks inside of my car. I thought I would show you guys how I delivered everything. I made mini cupcakes, I made cake pops, marshmallow pops, pretzel sticks, chocolate covered Rice Krispie treats, and chocolate covered Oreos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please remember to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and leave me a comment if you guys want to see more of my fun cake creations. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone.